So, on this very great Tuesday, it's time, once again, to take a look at the things that make you go, News broke today that the game DayZ hit more than 875,000 copies sold since its December 16th launch. An impressive fact when you consider that the game is still in an unpolished alpha state. These figures were announced on the Bohemia Interactive website last night. Early sales figures were as equally impressive, as the title managed to sell 88,000 copies in 12 hours, 172,500 copies in 24 hours, and 400,000 units within its first week. The developer has announced that the game will not reach beta status before the end of 2014. Such figures were surprising to Bohemian Interactive as well. CEO Merrick Spannell was quoted as saying, "We didn't want to compromise on the brutal and unforgiving nature of the early days of the DayZ mod, so we're very surprised to see such interest, as this clearly is not a game for everyone, especially considering that there are some radical changes under the hood in comparison to the mod. In the short term, we're going to focus on the most critical problems you're experiencing at the moment, and at the same time we're going to work on the road to the DayZ beta." So, what do I make of all this? Why is it that a game like this can sell so many copies in an alpha state, while so many other completed titles struggle to sell half of that? Well, a couple of good reasons come to the top of my mind. First off is the timing. When you look at the times, we see two genres of games that have been huge over the last several years: open world and zombie games, and DayZ does a little of both of these in its own way. Yeah, the underlying plot is about a zombie apocalypse, but that's not where the real gameplay is. No, most of the time that these players sit down and log into a server, they will be trying to stay alive and avoid other players. And in such a huge, vast world, there is almost nothing that you can't do, as long as you have somebody there to help you along the way. People band together to form communities, mobs, or even create chaos and destruction. It has everything that the open world crowd is looking for, and that in itself makes it a huge draw for the customers that just want to mess around without having to worry about story, consequences, or a timeline. Added to that is the thrill. Just think of the excitement that each time that you log in, never knowing what quite to expect or how long that your character will live. Instead of having to wade through hours of stories and rules, these players find themselves battling starvation, zombies, and other users as they do everything to stay alive as long as possible. Now that's exciting. Last off is wanting to be a part of something. Knowing that the original DayZ came from an underground modification, a lot of people want to support such an endeavor. It's in our nature to root for the underdog, especially with so many players these days voicing frustrations with the current generation of developers and publishers. And even if things go south and don't quite go as expected, people can still say, "Hey, I helped that along." So with that all in mind, I would have to say that the success of such an alpha is more rare than common. While sales are indeed huge, it is quite unlikely that other games would see such a success if they pulled a similar move. And when you see something that just comes along at the right time and place, all you can do is watch and marvel, just wondering how it will turn out. Still, here's hoping that other developers out there don't take this as a sign that it's okay to start selling us a lot of unfinished alphas. As always, we'll keep our eyes open and see what happens next. That's all for now. Peace out.